Hi guys, in this video I'm going to show you how I groom my eyebrows because I have really bushy eyebrows. They're very sparse, but they kind of go all over the place, so I do trim them just so they're a little bit more under control and maintained. So I'm going to show you how I do that, as well as my updated version of how I fill in my brows, because I did switch up my techniques just a little bit. So I'm going to share with you how I do them now. So if you want to see how I do these eyebrows, then just keep watching. Hi guys, these are my absolute favorite tweezers. I have tried the Tweezerman tweezers and I actually like these a lot better. I think they work a lot better. These are the MAC tweezers and they're the flat tip ones, so you can see that they're not at an angle, and I'm able to get every single itty bitty hair out with these. So these are my absolute favorite and I would totally recommend them to you guys. And then I have here a small little grooming kit that I got a really long time ago from Sonia Kashuk. I don't think she sells them anymore. But basically you just need a spoolie and a really sharp pair of tiny scissors. And what I do is I just comb them up, and you can see how long they are by me just brushing them upward. And then I just go in with the scissor and I just give them a trim. You don't want to go too crazy with this because it could be pretty disastrous. You can go a little overboard. So I just trim the tips of my eyebrow hairs just to clean them up, just so that they're not so long and out of control. So you can see that my eyebrows are very sparse, like they're not really super thick, but they're just really long. So I need to groom them because otherwise they look really bushy. So then when I get towards the tail of my brow, I kind of just comb them downward at an angle. I don't really comb them up, and I'll just trim them that way. So you can see here how it looks so much better. And it also makes filling in my brows a lot easier as well, because then my hairs are not in the way and they're not going all over the place. So you can just see that they look a little bit cleaner and not so bushy. And then to fill in my brows, I like to go in with a pencil first. This one is from M Cosmetics and this is in the color Caramel. I got this in my Generation Beauty glam bag, or the swag bag actually, and it kind of looks like the Anastasia one. It has the little spoolie at the end. I think they're both really good. I like both of the products. This one is just a little bit more creamy. And what I like to do is I like to lightly fill in the very beginning of my brows. So when I get to the very front, I like to brush it upward. And I like doing this because it's a lot softer. I always experiment with my brows, so I'm pretty sure that I'm going to come out with a new brow routine within the next couple of months, because it's always changing. I'm always experimenting. And what you want to do is just kind of lightly fill in your brows, and then you always want to go in with the spoolie to soften up the lines. It really like smudges it and makes it look more like a shadow as opposed to drawn in. So you just kind of want to slowly build your brow. So you can see how I kind of alternate from drawing it in and then combing it out. Because when you comb it out, sometimes you lose the color, so you just want to go back and forth and deepen up the color wherever you need it. And so I am just lightly filling them in. So you can see how useful it is to have a spoolie on the end of your eyebrow pencil, because it just really comes in handy and it makes it easier. But of course you don't always need to use these products. You can just use a regular spoolie and it'll do the exact same thing. So here I'm just building up the brow. You want to go back and forth, and when I get to the very top of the brow, I kind of want to create just a straight line on the very tops of my brows and then stop at the arch. And you don't have to be too precise, because in some later steps I will show you how to clean it up, but you kind of just want to get a general shape going. Once I'm happy with the shape that I've created, I will go in with my Anastasia Dipbrow, and this is in the color dark brown, with a MAC 266 brush. This is my favorite brush to use with this product. And I kind of just put it on the tip of the bristles and then wipe off any of the excess on the side of the jar. And this is going to give me a nice flat brush. And then I will start to fill in the very tail of my brow. So you can see that I will start at the very bottom. I will start at the bottom and then I will create that shape there because I have no hair right here at the very bottom, so I have to go in with the dip brow to make it look like I have hair. And then I'm just going to lightly fill in the very tail of the brow. I like the tail of the brow to be a little bit more defined and a little bit darker because I want my brow to have a really nice shape, and since my hairs on the tail of my brow don't really have a nice shape, I have to go in with something darker, so it'll give me a lot more definition. So then here I will just fill in the tips, and I kind of do small brush strokes with my brush. You don't have to create a fluid line with it. And then I'm just going to go in and fill in any really sparse areas that look really like bald looking. And then I'll just create some light brush strokes. So you can see here that you're kind of gonna have to build a brow from scratch because I don't have a nice shape without any product, so you kind of just have to create one for yourself. And then you can always go in with the spoolie even though you use the drip brow to soften any harsh lines. And so you just need to go back and forth like the same thing that I did with the pencil. You just want to go back and forth. And then when I get to the very front of my brow, I don't really put a lot of the dip brow because I want it to stay really soft and not look so mean. Once you're happy with the shape of your brow, then we can go in with my Pro Longwear concealer. You can use any concealer that you have and a really good concealer brush. This one is from Sonia Kashuk, and we are going to clean up the brows and make them look a lot more defined and just clean up any of the mistakes that we may have made. So I'm just going to take the concealer and I'm going to very carefully cut out the very bottom part of my brow. So I kind of start right underneath the brow and then I will slowly push it upward to kind of get the line going. I don't like to start off with the concealer right at the very top because it can gather there and it will be very noticeable. So I like to start right underneath and then kind of slowly blend it upwards. And I find that that really helps and makes it look a lot smoother and cleaner. So you can see here that I'm just cleaning up and it just makes everything really sharp and defined. And then you can just bring that concealer down. And then this is going to clean up your brows as well as give you a nice highlight there. And then I always use this concealer as an eyeshadow base, so it just works out perfectly. And then I like to clean up the top of my brow as well, and I will go in with the foundation that I'm using. I don't like to use concealer for this area because you can really brighten it up and it'll look really obvious that you cleaned up with some concealer. So I will just go in with my foundation and clean up that way. So I'm just going to take the same exact brush and I'm going to very lightly clean up the top of my brow. And you can see that it's not as noticeable with a foundation. And it's just going to lightly clean up these areas, and again, you can always fix any mistakes, or you can just make it look a lot sharper. You don't necessarily have to clean the tops of your brows if you don't want to. If you want more something that looks a little bit more natural. Obviously these brows are not very natural because they're drawn on, but if you want it to look a little bit softer and not so precise, you can definitely skip this step. And then you can see here that I like to use my spoolie to really smudge out the very front of the brow to make it look really, give me a nice transition, like a gradient in the very tip of my brow. I don't like it to be too harsh. And this is like also very on trend, like everybody is doing their brows like this. So then I will go in with a Tinted Brow Gel. This one is from Sonia Kashuk. I actually really want to try the Benefit one. Let me know in the comments below if you guys have that one and what you guys think about it. I like tinted brow gels because my brows are really dark. The hairs are really dark, and this just kind of blends in the hairs and makes everything look really soft, and makes it look less noticeable that they're obviously drawn on. So it kind of just blends everything, and it kind of makes my actual hairs the color of the dip brow. And it also sets everything, of course. So here is the finished result. You can see the big difference it makes to fill in your brows. I obviously don't really have a really nice shape if I don't fill in the brows, and then once I fill them in, I have a really nice defined arch brow. So hopefully this was really helpful for you guys, and thank you so much for watching, and just stay tuned and subscribe for more future brow tutorials. So this is what my eyebrows look like with a full face of makeup. I hope that you guys found this video helpful and that you give it a try. As always, if you have any other questions, go ahead and just leave them in the comments below and I will get to them as soon as I can. Thank you so much for stopping by, and I will see you in my next video. Aw, thank you, Mama. Can you say bravo?